that point that you're at and you've been at covering this team for years where I'm not thoroughly entertained by it. CC said today, probably around August 23rd, 24th, you get a secondary wave of push for the Netflix special when they sign Micah. What is your guesstimate as to when they do that?
2027? I think that when they sign Micah, like to a long-term contract extension, I don't think there's been any movement on that front at all. I think the Cowboys are dug in on their position, which is they thought they had a deal agreed to in the spring, and if he wants to take that deal, awesome. They're happy to do it. They feel like it was more than fair, and if he doesn't, he's under contract. They can franchise him in 26. They can franchise him in 27. They've done it before. Dak Prescott played on a franchise tag and was set to play on a second one when they got a last-minute deal done. So I think my sense of it is the Cowboys feel like he knows what we're willing to do. It's up to him whether he wants to say yes or play this thing out.
Wait, I just follow up on that. I want to make sure I understand. Are you saying in this moment right now, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that it's more likely he's on the franchise tag than it is he's extended after this year?
What I'm saying is the Cowboys seem to me to be of the mind that that's his decision. That they have made an offer.
He's choosing to not take an extension.
That they have, again, this is... Jerry has been out and said this, right? That he felt like they had agreed to a deal. I think my sense of it is the Cowboys believe that deal is still there for Micah if he wants it, and that it's more than fair. But if he wants to go back and forth on it, they feel like we've already done that, so we're not going back down that road.
Gross, feet to the fire. Do you think Micah Parsons will be out there September 4th when they play the Eagles?
Yes, because look, he's going to make $21 million this year if he does nothing, right? Like that's the fifth-year option number, so 21, 22, whatever it is. Yeah, you giving up 1/18 of that to make this point?
But he doesn't have to give it up, Gross. He's got a back injury.
Well, that's true, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if he can pass a team physical, I mean, I guess that's always the push-pull on that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he wants to play it out like that, that could change the Cowboys' mind. Maybe he's calling their bluff as much as they're calling his. But this is a situation where it's about who blinks first, and the Cowboys feel like they hold more cards.
We're talking with Dan Graziano, ESPN senior NFL reporter here on Sportsman presented by Progressive Insurance. I want to follow up on what you just said. CC asked, feet to the fire, is he out there on week one? Feet to the fire, is he out there on week one under a new deal?
Yeah, I hesitate to say no because we've seen these situations with the Cowboys obviously happen last minute, literally with Dak Prescott, like they were getting dressed for the game. This one feels a little different. It feels like there's something going on here that is different from the Dak situation, the CD situation, the Ezekiel, whatever one of these you want to bring up and compare it to. So I think it seems like Micah Parsons, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, it feels like he's kind of taken aback by their stance, and the next move is for him to decide what he wants to do in terms of, do we want to sit out? Do we want to play it out and dare them to franchise me? Or do we want to go back and say, you know what, David Mulugeta, like let's actually get this done on their terms. Now, if he does that, then it's a long-term deal, right? Because the Cowboys are willing to do it. But it seems like from their standpoint, it's his move.
So, Graz, this is not, we have taken this basically as the delay in signing for Jerry Jones, for all of his star players, can just be reallocated to marketing budget, right? By not signing Dan Graziano in April, I have to pay $10 extra if I sign him in August, and as a result, I'm going to get all of the headlines, all of the attention. That's my marketing budget. Your feeling on this, based on sourcing and reporting and knowledge, is that this is not a marketing ploy for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think the Dallas Cowboys would have done a deal with Micah Parsons in March and felt like they did the legwork on that deal in March and would have agreed to it if he had. But again, I don't want to sit here and take their side. If his response was, yeah, this all sounds great, I got to run it by my agent, that's a perfectly reasonable response and the correct one for the player to take, right? So if Jerry balked at that, then that's on Jerry. And maybe, to your point, maybe it is manufactured drama. But to me, we're 3 weeks out, right? Like they're literally like from today.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. It's a game of chicken right now.
Said the Cowboys are intent on calling Micah Parsons bluff, and they don't believe that he won't play week one. That's fascinating to me. The fact that this negotiation feels different than the other star Cowboys player negotiations that have happened in the past. So this is different than Dak or CD or Trayvon Diggs, so on and so forth. To me, it feels like the Cowboys are trying to strong-arm Micah Parsons into a deal that they're more comfortable with. And we've heard grumblings in the past about how the Cowboys took issue with some of the character concerns of Micah Parsons. Not that you have to worry about him off the field, but just his impact on the overall culture of your football team, the impact that he has in your locker room.
Which you've been critical of him also last year.
I have been.
Yeah.
And remember, the first thing that Brian Schottenheimer did when he took over as head coach was shuffle the lockers in the locker room because he cited culture concerns. He wanted to improve the rapport with the team, the chemistry overall. So I understand the concerns that the Dallas Cowboys have, but we are talking about the best player on your team. You can't dream of holding up the Lombardi Trophy with this Cowboys roster as constituted without having Micah Parsons on the field. So I understand the concerns that the Dallas Cowboys have, but they've taken it to this point. They need to go ahead and pay Micah Parsons.
I will say this. Graz did a phenomenal job, at least for a few minutes, of getting me to think that maybe it's not all part of the show, that maybe this is different, because that's what everyone's saying. This one's different than the other ones. Now, I'll believe it when I see it, but Graz is well informed, as we know, and he had this to say moments ago with us here on Unsportsmanlike about the Cowboys dug in on Micah's contract.
I don't think there's been any movement on that front at all. I think the Cowboys are dug in on their position, which is they thought they had a deal agreed to in the spring, and if he wants to take that deal, awesome. They're happy to do it. They feel like it was more than fair, and if he doesn't, he's under contract. They can franchise him in 26. They can franchise him in 27. They've done it before. Dak Prescott played on a franchise tag and was set to play on a second one when they got a last-minute deal done. So I think my sense of it is the Cowboys feel like he knows what we're willing to do. It's up to him whether he wants to say yes or play this thing out.
Okay, I want to.
But here's the problem that I have with that. He's saying he knows what we're willing to do. Here's the problem that the Dallas Cowboys are running into. The market for edge rushers has been reset 3 times over this offseason, from Max Crosby at $35.5 million to Myles Garrett at $40 million to TJ Watt at $41 million.
You're saying all after that March date where they thought they had the deal done.
Exactly. So the fact that the deal didn't get across the goal line, the onus or the impetus is not on the player. That's on the owner. That's on the organization to get it done. And Jerry Jones prides himself on being a closer. Well, damn it, why didn't you close the Micah Parsons deal? If you agreed in principle, if you had an understanding with the player, call the agent, get it done. Don't ask Micah to pressure his agent into taking a deal that you're putting together. That's just ridiculous.
A couple things on that. I wouldn't normally say this, but it's all over the place somehow. We had an ESPN town hall yesterday, and it's widely reported and announced that ESPN and the NFL have a partnership.
Correct.
And the man who's in charge of our company, Jimmy Pitaro, was unbelievable in this town hall yesterday, specifically saying when the deal crosses the goal line. Never said it was 100% done for the exact reason you just said. Even if it's 99% done, there's a 1% chance it's not. He constantly said that throughout this town hall for all internal employees, right? When we get this accomplished, when this is all agreed upon. Goodell was even on there saying the exact same thing, right? Again, this is reported now publicly. I'm not outing this, right? So, but that's your point on it. Like, even if you think it's done, there's actually a formal way of it getting done. That's number one. Number two, I think the interesting part here is we are so fortunate on our show to have so many different people from so many walks of life all across the country with so many different jobs that they have listening to us and watching us. There are many people out there that are in sales-related jobs. And I know, as someone that was trained a long time ago in sales, that one of the things you want to do in sales is always deal directly with the person that is signing off on any spend, right? Or however that works. And not necessarily avoid the representation, but if you can talk to the person, let's just do it in our world. If you're in radio and you're looking for a car dealer to advertise with you because you think it's going to benefit them and it's going to grow their business, you want to talk to them, the general manager of the car dealership, and have the general manager of the car dealership talk to the ad agency and say, hey, you know what? I really like Unsportsmanlike. I would like you to take it in, consume it a little bit. I want to place advertising dollars on there because the ad agency works for the car dealership. That's what it feels like Jerry did here.